Hi, welcome to the video. My name is Michael, and I just want to start off my video by saying from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much to anyone and everyone who showed a lot of love and support on my last YouTube short. In my last YouTube short, I basically documented a physical transformation from the time I was very young, maybe in elementary school, to present day. And I'm 27 years old now. In the video, I really wanted to highlight the difference between myself and that of my best friends who were average build. And in the images I show, you can really see the disparity, the contrast between, my physical structure and theirs. I think it was in the second picture. It's a picture of myself and on the right-hand side, and Roberto on the left-hand side, one of my best friends. And you can just see the difference between his arm and mine. This picture here is a great example of what I grew up experiencing, which was being the skinniest person in every single room. This included when women were or girls were in the room as well. It was, I think it was a very unique experience for myself. I think kind of ostracized me, at least mentally. Growing up, it was my biggest insecurity. Growing up, I never wanted to be seen without a shirt. I never wanted to take any photos, even with clothing, because I knew, I was just so self-conscious. Unfortunately, I was never really bullied for being so skinny. I was always treated like normal, like I was like everyone else. So I'm very fortunate for that. I know people are in different, are growing up and grew up in very different situations, and I want to shout out them. Again, I'm very fortunate to not deal with bullying, but regardless, I don't want to play the victim whatsoever on this channel. Even though I feel like I grew up with far faster metabolism than everyone around me, making my journey a bit different than everyone else's. The point of this channel will be to not be the victim, but the hero of your story. And to go back to my point about growing up the skinniest person in every single room, it affected my confidence tremendously. I probably suffered from a lack of confidence up until I was really, I still kind of deal with it to this day. But I turned it around. I completely turned around my life as to where I love being without a shirt on nowadays. My friends can attest to that. Any opportunity I get to take off my shirt, I will take off my shirt. Partly because I sweat a lot. I live in South Texas and it's very humid. And so I just happen to sweat a lot. And so I love to be without my shirt nowadays. And it's a huge, huge flip from where I was in high school, as early as high school and college. And I was 18 years old when I started lifting weights. I made with what I had. And I do remember instantly feeling gratification. Like, even though we do talk about delayed gratification a lot, you hear about a lot of delayed gratification, but it was almost instantly where I started feeling like so much better, so much more confident to hang around others and do physical, hang around others and participate in physical activities. And I continued to let that feeling just get me to the gym. Or when I started, actually, I just started working out inside my house, inside my garage. People noticed that, like my family noticed that. So they did, my sisters winded up buying me a bench, an Adidas bench set. And so one of my sister's boyfriend at the time bought me an Olympic barbell. People around me just noticed the work I was putting in and working out whether it was in the gym or calisthenics, at the park, in my room, working out, weightlifting, exercise is, I think, one of the single best things that you can do for your life. It is, I think we're meant to be, you know, to be moving, to move our bodies, challenge our bodies. I mean, why else would we grow bigger and stronger muscles, ligaments, if we weren't meant to sort of, you know, train with some sort of resistance? On my channel, I do, going forward, man, I really want to provide encouragement and inspiration to all kinds of people from all kinds of walks of life. You know, there's the other side of my situation where people really struggle to keep weight off, and I understand them. Like, it took me a long time to kind of understand how people could struggle with keeping weight off. You know, obviously coming from my my experience with extremely fast metabolism, but there's the other side of the coin where people's metabolism, you know, they're born with a very slow metabolism. They have sort of the opposite struggle of mine. My struggle is keeping weight on, and whether that's fat or muscle, and theirs is keeping weight off, you know. So I can relate to feeling like you're fighting your body daily, you know. I don't feel like it's, you know, I feel like it's not healthy at all to have either, you know, end of the spectrum with regard to the speed of someone's metabolism. I think, you know, we weren't dealt very optimal situation with regard to our metabolism. I don't think it's healthy at all to have a very fast or very slow metabolism. I don't get why nature kind of I don't get why it exists in nature. I personally think that if I grew up 200-300 years ago, where it would be much harder to implement resistance training, or, you know, getting enough to eat to grow, I think I probably would have died of starvation. But so to that point, I'm very grateful of the time that we're growing up in now, where it's much more feasible to make a change, right? All thanks be to God for that. And I think that's for a reason. I think I have the ability to make a change for a reason, and I think I'm here to help build others up. You know, it took me almost 10 years now of training to feel I am very capable, despite any sort of challenges may come up in my life. I think I'm still very, you know, that I'm very capable to continue to exercise, continue to fight that daily battle, and I want to help others as well along that journey. It is a lifestyle, right? I think those who pick up weight training or calisthenics or CrossFit, whatever your form of a training is, running, right? I think it's a whole lifestyle change, but at the very beginning, it's very hard to get started. You know, it's like moving. It's like, you know, if it takes a lot of, you know, you got to put it in first gear to really get it moving, you know, get the momentum on your side. Because at the very beginning of one's journey, man, it's very difficult. But there's a point where you get to sort of, after some time, there's a point where you begin to, you can coast, or it feels like you're coasting. And that can become a negative thing as well. You can become complacent, and I had to get into that in another video, but not today. In this video, I just kind of wanted to make an introduction for my YouTube channel, and I do again want to thank everyone so much for the love and support that they showed on my YouTube short. I'm so flabbergasted by the amount of love that I received. I had no idea people were going to be so kind, leaving their comments and all. And I really love hearing others stories as well in the comment section. I hope I can hear more in the future. It's very encouraging. I think it's very healthy, right? We got to use the internet for positive. You know, the internet has brought a lot of negative things in our lives, but it can be used for very positive things as well. You know, even though we're more interconnected as ever, we still feel very, very lonely along our journeys. But that's not the truth. I think we have a lot more in common than we have that separates us. So with that said, I do want to thank you again, right? If you made it to this part of the video, shout out to you. Once again, thank you so much. I hope you guys stay tuned for my next video, you know, all my future content. With that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week and stay blessed.